But we actually have another story that happened after the boat.
Yeah, and pretty embarrassing one for Heath.
Oh shit!
Fuck, don't start it off like that, dude. I was a fucking hero.
Embarrassing for me.
We could be heroes.
Wait,
No.
or I could be your hero, baby.
That's
Literally.
there you
I
go.
can
Time.
kiss away
Mariah,
the
cut that
pain.
out. So,
Will do.
So I was a hero. Thank you for recognizing that. And we went to go to McDonald's. We were doing a little drive-thru. We just wanted to get some food real quick. The line was
up the wazoo.
This is our second time going back to McDonald's
because it was like the only thing open. We were so hungry, and we had paid this taxi to wait in line. Basically,
Yeah.
Who was the coolest dude?
There was no other options.
he was
though,
the
at
man.
This point. There was
he
no other
He
options.
was with us for the night. He was just like, "You guys are getting food. I don't care what happens as long as it takes me. We're gonna get you guys food."
He was
And
with us. He was with us.
Yo, he was cracking up the whole time too.
Yeah.
It was
fun.
sick.
So we waited in line for this McDonald's, and it was probably 20 cars deep.
Yeah, I'd say
It
20
was
cars.
it was pretty big.
20 cars in a drive-thru is a lot.
So we're getting relatively close. We're like halfway through it, and then it like gets to the point where like we were backed up on the street, and then you can like actually turn into the McDonald's to start getting into like the drive-thru area. So we're like getting right there, and the car in front of us had somebody try to cut them off and like sneak in from the other way to like skip
from the street, yeah.
right, and skip the entire line behind us. So they like kept closing, like, and they like got pissed, so they pulled up and didn't let this guy in. They were like, no, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
So the guy was like, oh fuck. So he pulled out and he's like, all right, I guess I'm not skipping the line. He backed out, and we're like, oh right, yeah, stick it to him. That's right, baby.
Yeah.
We've been waiting here, like it was a long time. We're waiting in line. So we're getting a little closer, and then another car pulls up, but tries to do it right in front of our cab. And I'm like, oh hell, another one? So like we start pulling up, and they were not backing down. We're like, no, like we are here, and we are like,
We are here.
We are getting into the lane
And
together.
you know there's people like that. There's always people that try to fucking skip the line. They don't they don't care about anybody that's waiting. They're like, oh, I'm
Just
gonna do
don't
this.
care.
They just don't care. Yeah.
So we were like, no, and it was a fucking standoff. Like nobody wanted to back down, and our cab was like, we're going.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, like fuck this. Like I was pissed. I was like, we've been waiting here. It's not gonna go down. So I get out of the car and I'm like, ma'am, you can't, like, I'm sorry, we're not letting you in. We've been waiting. There's people behind us. Like, we are all so hungry. I was like, you're not skipping the line.
Yeah, we're like, we are not letting you in.
And I was
all
like,
the other cars are just like,
They saw me get out. And they saw me get out and they were like, yeah, tell her. And I'm like, I got this.
And everybody back in line and the front of line, the people that were not even waiting in line anymore, they were just like, yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
no skipping. I'm like, yeah, nobody's skipping us.
This line was long enough where there was a fucking audience. Everybody understood that there was going to be no fucking skippers in this line because everybody waited their fucking time.
People were honking. They had my back. And I was like, ma'am, you're not getting through. And she's like, I need to get in there. And I was like, I don't care. We're all hungry. She's like, well, I work here. And I was like, yeah, fucking right. I was like, okay, show me your badge. She was like, what are you talking about? I
don't have a badge.
I was like, if you work here, show me your name tag. Show me McDonald's.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't have a name tag. And I was like, likely story.
Show me your visor.
And she was like, I work here. I'm the manager. I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, ma'am, you need to leave. And she was like, I'm the manager. And I was like, right, where's your visor? I was like, where's your McDonald's visor? She was like, I don't have a visor. I was like, let me see some credentials. Where's your credentials? I was like, you don't have a
Your
visor?
non-slip sneakers. Show me your non-slip
Something.
sneakers.
She was in like just a normal shirt, and I was just like, where's your visor? She's like, I work here. I was like, where's your visor? I work here. Where's your visor?
Like,
and it was just going on.
It was back and forth. And honestly, at this point, we could have let her pass, but we were there for so long, and we had an audience.
And then
if we let this lady pass through, it would have been bad.
Show the visor. Where's her visor? And I was like, she doesn't have one. And
it was end of the world shit. Everybody was hungry.
And they were in a convertible behind us, so it was like more like attention.
Oh, that's
They were
funny.
hanging out of the car.
Dude, it was
that's funny.
It was exciting, and like I was,
What a
dude,
rush.
I wasn't letting I had the line.
You did good.
Heath
you did
wasn't
good.
backing
I wasn't
down.
backing down.
And everybody else did good because everyone was just like, "Boo, get out of here!" So she's just like, she backs up and
and
drives
then just
off.
sped off.
And
And,
we're
everybody
like,
was like,
"Yeah!"
So I was like in front of her car though, and I was letting the people in line go through, and I was like holding her back, and she was like, I was just like, come on, she ain't getting through. They were like, "Ah." And then that she ended up speeding off. She got pissed, dipped off, and then like I go to get back into the car. I'm walking around. All of a sudden, her car comes whipping around the parking lot.
around the back.
Screeches in another back entrance and like pulls into this front spot. And we're like, oh, look at her. There she goes. She's going to try to walk up.
She's really pretending throughout all this. She's like, oh, she's going really far with this, that she's manager.
And then she gets out, and all of a sudden, they looked at me and they just pointed.
No.
And I'm like, what? I turned around. She's walking in the back fucking entrance.
opens his giant door and storms inside. She's
She worked
pissed.
there.
She was the fucking manager.
Oh no.
Everybody
You're sleeping
was
this whole time.
in shock.
I was not here.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
The entire line was silent.
Yo, she was the manager. Yo, everybody got out of their cars because they were like, they were such in shock they had to like come outside. And
I went from hero to zero so fucking quick. It was like
it was nuts.
It was probably the worst I've ever felt. People were throwing tomatoes at me. This guy sucks.
Yeah, people switch up so
Everybody
fast.
pretty much felt bad. It was silent. No one was like, "It's okay, buddy. You did your best." It was just kind of like, "Ooh, we don't want our food to get fucked up."
Yeah,
we're-
nobody had my back. Where was that energy?
But at this point, I was like, "Heath, we need to get the fuck away from our car because this entire McDonald's is about to do everything in their power to mess up our food."
Oh, yeah,
So we're like, "Yo,
100%.
Heath, we need to get out of this car. We need to get away. Because we've been waiting in this line again for like an hour. We're like, we just need to protect our food." So you're on the side. Everybody keeps coming up to us and they're just like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Mariah, us three, we walked away and we hid behind those trees. And we hid, with our cars going up to the window, we hid behind the trees. And we're like, hopefully she doesn't see us.
Oh my god.
And then I think, didn't your buddy like tip her extra at the window? Cause
gave her a good amount of money. I was like, so sorry about that. We literally thought you were lying.
And she actually ended up being
She's so cool.
the sweetest person
Yeah.
in the world.
Oh, good. Oh,
Like,
so
We were just so surprised that like
What a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
Wow.
we were just surprised that
man.
it wasn't like more clear because she said she worked there, but like I don't know. We felt like she didn't really put up a good fight.
Because she didn't have an argument. She had no argument
Yeah.
and no credentials.
Like if you were a manager of a restaurant and somebody wasn't letting you through, I'd get out of the car and be like, "Get the fuck out of my way. I work here." But she wasn't. It almost seemed like she was lying.
She picked the wrong fight. She should have chose a different lane, a couple different lanes, but
Yeah.
she chose
She
the
should
third
have used
option,
that
which
other
is
entrance that she
Yeah,
went
she.
I mean,
and she did it easily. She literally went around and boom, that's it. Like, and she was sitting there for 20 minutes fighting.
And none of her employees came out to help her. Imagine seeing your manager through the window, and it's just me. Where's your visor?
no, they're probably like, "Oh, there's that bitch. They're not letting her in. Oh, we're not gonna help her. She called me a bitch yesterday."
Yeah.
She walks in, and the girls are like, "Miss Stacy, you're late."
Hey, I was late yesterday.
Oh, shit.
But imagine being her.
Stacy
Like,
late.
imagine getting called to cover like a line that is just so busy, and you're the manager, and like you don't want to be going to work at that time of night.
Yeah.
And it's just like
We felt
you're
really
just
bad.
trying to go help because your store is getting bombarded and there's a line. And you're just
Yeah.
like, all you're trying to do is just get into work. And there I am.
Yeah.
Name tag. No credentials.
Where's your
Yeah.
visor? It's the middle of the night. I don't need a fucking
In the
visor.
in the end of the day, we paid like much extra shit just to cover just the fucking
The headache and the
embarrassment and the
hassle.
headache, yeah. And everybody was good in the end of the day. And
I think we all learned a valuable lesson that day.
what?
bring your credentials to work.
Have credentials. And I would say have a little bit more faith, but this has got to be the one time.
Yeah, this was a very rare moment. Like if it was any other manager like that, we would have been like, "Okay, come through." It was just like
but like out of every time somebody's tried skipping.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
You would
Like-
think there would have been a better process in that place.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
Heath, I side with you, and I'm not upset with you for embarrassing us. But there was a car.
Bro, you were behind me. Get her.
Oh yeah,
No,
I was
I know.
right behind. I got out halfway after he did the whole
Yeah.
spiel, and she wasn't moving. I was like, you know, I'm gonna add a little spice.
I know.
You're not coming through.
I'm validating you because there was a couple cars in front of the car. There was a couple cars in front already trying to skip the line before her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and everyone's hungry. Everyone's a little hangry,
Right.
hungry. Like, we want our food, and you want to go home and go to bed. And then Mariah, you said
Put
it
quite
pretty-
a fight back there sleeping.
Everyone turned on him afterwards, and that could be a metaphor for today's age for everything. The McDonald's is the world. And
Yeah.
then he's the person in the world, and they just flip on him like
You would
that.
have been really
and that's
proud
why
of me.
I don't eat McDonald's.
You would have been really proud of me for like 10 minutes.
You stood up for what you wanted. You wanted that
I
change.
stood up for the people, the greater good.
That was
you-
really poetic, Todd.
Heath, thank you.